Good day to everyone. In our previous videos, we had studied about the SDLC models. From this video, we'll study about the software testing. Now, in general, what is the testing means? Testing means to find or identify the defect or a problem. In the same way, software testing means it is a process of finding or identifying the defect in the software application is called as software testing. It is the method of verifying the functional behavior of an application according to the customer requirement or specification is called as software testing. Software testing, it is the process of executing the software with the intention of finding the defect, and it is the process of checking the software whether it is working according to the requirement or not. In testing, we have two types, that is static testing and dynamic testing. Static testing, it is a type of software testing in which the software application is tested without any code execution. The main objective of this testing is to improve the qualities of a software by finding the error at an early stage only. This is called as verification testing. The following documents will be reviewed, that is design document, source code, test plan, test cases, test scripts, and web page content. Then dynamic testing, it is a type of testing which is also called as validation testing. Here we check for the behavior of an application by testing the application as per the requirements of the customer. The main objective of this type of testing is to ensure that software product it is working properly as per the customer requirement or not. We have three types of software testing, that is white box testing, gray box testing, and black box testing. Now let us see what does this white box testing means. White box testing, it is also called as unit testing or structural testing or glass box testing or transparent testing or open box testing. It is a type of software testing which is done by the developer. Here the developer, he will check each and every line of the code before releasing it to the testing team. Now why is it called as white box testing? Since the source code is visible to developer, we call it as white box testing. In this, fixing the defect means developer, he will open the source code and identify the wrong code and then he will correct it. This is called as the fixing of defect. Now why is this white box testing tested by developers and not the test engineers? Because if the test engineer they spend more time on fixing the bugs, they will lose the time to catch some more defects in the software, and the fixing of defect might break a lot of other features. Hence, test engineers should always be involved in finding the defects and sending it to the developer. Developers should always be involved in fixing the defects. Next is black box testing. It is verifying the functionality or behavior against the requirement specification. This testing is done by the test engineers. Now, why do we call this as black box testing? Since the source code is not visible to the test engineers, that is the reason we call it as black box testing. Next is gray box testing. It is a type of software testing which is the combination of black box and white box testing. Next, we'll see the various types available in the white box testing. We have various types, that is path testing, conditional testing, loop testing, memory point of view testing, speed or response testing. Now let us see what does this path testing means. In path testing, the developers will write the flow graph and test all the independent path. Writing a flow graph means he will write the graphical representation of flow of a program and how each and every program is interlinked with each other. We can see that in the below diagram here. Then testing all the independent path By the developer, he will set some parameters and test whether the program is correctly working or not. This is called as path testing. Next is conditional testing. Here, the developer will test the application for all the logical condition, that is for both true and false. If it is true, then what is the result it should be, and if false, else false, what should be the result. This is what is called as conditional testing. Here you can see an diagram here from which you can understand the conditional testing. Next is loop testing. Developer, he will test the application for all the looping condition. Along with that, he will also check for the terminating condition whether it is working properly or not. Practically, developer cannot test each and every line of the code one by one. If the code is less, then he can do that by checking each and every line. Otherwise, if it is more than a lakh lines of the code, then he cannot test it manually. So he'll pass all 1 lakh lines of the code inside the loop and test the application which is there in the program. This is called as the loop testing. Next is testing from the memory point of view. The size of the code of a program increases because of the following reasons. That is, the logic used by the program varies from person to person. If one developer writes the code in 300 KB, then another developer, he may write it in the 200 KB itself, because the logic varies from person to person. Next, the code reusability. Uh, the code reusability is not there, which means developer has already written 5 lines of the code. Next time when he want to perform the same activity again, he will write the same lines of the code once again. This will lead to increase the size of the program. The next reason is developer will declare too many variables that he will never use it in the program. Such variables he will use it. Then developer will not use the built-in code. Instead of that, he will write the code on his own logic. Because of this, size of the code also increases. Next is speed or response testing. Whenever we open an application, we can observe that it may lag sometimes. It will be because too much of improper logic to develop the code, and because of this, performance of an application will become slow. This may lead to the server will take much time to load. Thank you for watching our video. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss any of our video or updates. Thank you.